Okay, so for some reason it stopped. We started to draw again and it stopped. But so I figured we'd get this. So I don't know, people who've been keeping up with our programming. This is our magnetic field, and this right here was just a thing called gold quartz, but it's clear, and it's because of the everything that's inside wasn't able to form gold, but all the nanoparticles made it, and then quartz is silica. It's sealing it. Anyway, so we caught it on fire, but now when we put the magnifying glass, those things get hot. They make fires, and we've thrown it in ice cold water. Right? We're just experimenting, but nobody does it with the magnetic field. Okay, so I got one for you guys. Listen to this. Not yet. Sorry about that. Take two. I know. I thought this would be pretty cool. Y'all ready? Sunday fun day reflections with the shine down. Oldest action.
My one word for next year is, even though they will be here, I think, this year, but this is the word for next year, is baby.
Alright. And action. Right? Okay, so the new album. Hey. Hey, Vector. Which album is this? Oh wow, they're gonna be in Lubbock. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? I live in Texas too. Uh, yeah. So this has been happening. Like, as that other artist, he was gonna be in another Texas city. I was like, man, wouldn't it be cool to be able to do this? And then y'all would be, this guy's what he is. He's crazy, right? But then the thing at the same time is, Lubbock isn't. Well, it's pretty dang far actually. But anyways, uh, action. I figured if this is okay with you.
Nothing at all. So open your eyes through the hole in the sky. There's much more than which way you're leaning. I hope for your sake that you're now wide awake and you're conscious and know you're not dreaming. But all things considered, it's bound to get weird. Who's triggered? Who's bitter? Oh yeah! Kill the lights and cast the first stone. Leave me alone, 'cause I'm not the bride.
So we were over here drawing, and I looked down and I was like, are you freaking kidding me? We had like a story about even the pentacle, and I think it had to intersect and make a Z for Zach. So I was like, whoa. Excuse me. I never get sick. Whenever that came from. Anyways, so this sketch comedy, right? But anyways, I was hoping we could, we had a little bitty type story, like, right? Like, what's your horoscope sign? Anyways, let's go. He's actually said, hey, don't forget Barry and Grant. So, Just want to live one more second for Brent Berry. Spurs won last night. Very big game. So this is a shout out to also a legend. So that's like, wow. Just like Brent, he's a brother, and we're kin. But I mean, can we have? This is another thing. We have to talk about. Like 40 years. We were listening to the. You know, I figured if anything, you would get your own. I'll put it this way for everybody else. Okay, remember. I think. If you're playing in Warwick, right now, how hard would it be for your people to be able to get me there? Not to be like all up in y'all's business. Maybe, cause like, dude, see, I mean, I would pay. I would pay with whatever I could. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, hey, what's up? Warner? Hey, Ted. Honestly. Anyway, so right and do my live set, sun set, Did y'all have fun last night? And we're watching out for that thing. See, we took a video and it flew by. This is for, I guess, well, people think that it's gonna like hoot. I kept hearing, I was like, nah. Okay, so this is for, you see how this has a red color now? Now that was gold quartz. Now when we were using a magnetic field, it changed it to a, which obviously is the probably iron impurity of another rock, so I failed to get it. I ruined that potential golden nugget. Something that we've been researching. I don't see much. I really don't look up stuff. But let's do this. Sorry. Oh, dang. I know. But anyway, so here's what I was saying. Like, in the future, what if I sold the hard copy of this, and then you have your digital, and y'all can make it a game? Like, what if I was, like, I'll put it this way. What if I was talking about somebody very, like, something that they would want to buy, and you're like, I'm going to pick that up, and then y'all can trade it like cards, or I'm just saying, there's a thing called challenge coins. It's like just a thing, and you pull out your challenge coin, like, yeah, I got this one. Now some of them have some character. Look, here's my clock. For being boring. But, yeah, I know. No, we saw this yesterday, but the Wi-Fi went out, so that was not good, because we saw it last year, and everybody's like, what is this for? It's a unity, like first generation, like Mayan calendar, where we are keeping a celestial. So basically, we can see where we have gotten what we have. Like Easter, there is a rabbit called Lepus. I know. Is anybody into that? And see, I was like, the guitar, I'm not good at that. You're gonna see that. I did that right before this. Anyway, dang, we should have taken that time for Eric. See what's up with him. Why, I see one of those. Really secretive, quiet. Ooh, okay, but this is like if we hit even more than rock bottom. Okay. I'll get this on. I don't think people can see my YouTube. But, oh, brother room. Now this is a law. So that's why there's the royal court. I know. So the family. The dictionary, people think it's dumb, but over here, when we wrote this, I was like, wait a minute, it looks like you're, and it's, but you get it, no, it's gonna, like, y'all guys are veteran, get it, do you get it, Oxford Dictionary. Then we have play again. If this is like a live, what do we think? I don't know why I thought you were in, but what about the doctor? Are you? This is a good one. So we have something in this area called Mint, U.S. Mint, or we also have pounds and euro. Now, when I say that, my family did that, but when this thing came back, because King Charles II, right now we have King Charles III, so it's family. That's why they made it a royal court by law. But we are by blood, which is a little different. That's why I keep saying, Charles, come on, sir, we need to talk. It's getting late, so. Hey, action, cut. You know what? I can't believe they did that. Sorry, y'all. Are we even recording? Okay. I said I wanted to have the new album in the background. Anyways, so I guess like there's words like rent, Brent, parent. Where do those words get there? And here's the best one for me. Ignorant. So they're like, you're the person, that family that created the word ignorant, and everybody knows it. I was like, is this the new album? I can't see the screen. Everything's all messed up. Let me see. If it is, my fault, y'all. Liar. See, I think it's pretty funny. It said that this was your official 2 days ago. Okay. But now this says you're going to be playing somewhere different. Please watch your step. Actually, sorry. Maybe that's why I haven't been talking. We'll talk about my family later. This is about y'all. See, we're always leaving Zach out. Come on, Zach. Are you shy too? The brother roots. Did it say Brent was the most been in the band longest. Now what if I was to say that words and names created two for the new rule? That's pretty smart. So that's why they say you're a brother from another mother. Or what the political correct way is kin. Kin folk. Get it? There is. Now, people say that all your DNA from your whole bloodline is all encoded, right? Let's say that that's like, I wish you would just play with it. Thank you, go down. Thank you. I'm just kidding. I'm hitting rock bottom. This might be one of the last ones. Because nobody's been it's fine. So now we have St. Paul's Cathedral. Now people that know anything about St. Paul. Now, if I've been chosen to go visit it, and all of these things are showing up outside that are saying like we need to go. Now how am I supposed to go? Whenever I try to call and y'all hang up, and it costs like a lot of money to call overseas, and I can't even afford a phone that will take a good video. So now I see what I mean. I can't believe we were wasting all that. Let's see. Now, the weird thing is being in something so old. Like I was talking to, I know all these things already, so I didn't even think I had to look them up. And I said, well, who is the founding president of the Royal Society? It was like, isn't it Christopher Wren? It was like, no. I was like, I wonder how much that costs, right? And unfortunately, like, there's something here that's stopping me from succeeding, right? And we created mint. So back in the day, the last time this thing came, people didn't do a good test in the mint. Get it? And they're like, we want gold. And it's like, dude, that's hard to get gold. So that's why they said this is going to be mint for when it comes back to save everybody. And it's like, how many years? And it's like, why would it do that? Well, to keep the bloodlines alive, right? Is that simple logic? Now you're like, that's crazy. And it's like, well, why is all this stuff happening? That's what we found very interesting. The crocodile, so big. They say that it's a protector. It's like to a key in, not a king. That's what we call them now, but it's a key in. And that means pretty much why back in the day, even the Bible talks about, they say the Egyptians. Now here's what I think happened, because these people are like, and then I was like, is this? Oh yeah, so that means next. Oh yeah, so I know I'm all over the place because I don't get prepared. That's why it's like, Mr. Ferry's in here. He got the game winner, buzzer beater. That's why he's a legend. Oh my goodness. I know. Now I'm not even joking. That's going to get extremely hot. Now if we have like something to put it really cold, and the magnetic field is, you think it's gonna, I don't want to say anything, but you know what, I am, because if they're over here gonna steal this and decode things, that I wanted to, that I just can't call my family at Oxford. Where did Oxford come from? Now that it goes to this, there's a small committee of people that reform the church. That's why St. Paul's was so important. And they appointed Ren to do St. Paul's because it burnt down. And it was Gothic. Hey, you there? You sure everybody's here? Oh, it's upside down. That's pretty cool. We'll get you. So they, I don't know how to say it, but I was thinking, like, if I was telling y'all stuff about these Egyptian deities, well, then you're gonna go somehow. What if, like I said, there's something called resurrection? Now, incarnation. Okay, so remember we said that we have the Renaissance. No, it's so weird. Everybody's like, that's not cool. I don't know why. So, why do I have to do this, right? Just to get ignored, like, because St. Paul's, now it was Gothic, but just like all of us friends, we do things our way. It might not be because we're dumb, but we're ignorant, right? We don't know any better. And so he's like, I want to do it my way, which was classical. And he wanted a dome, and everybody was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I'm sorry. Anyways, long story short, King Charles II, they gave him the opportunity because they were the same age when King Charles II was appointed as king. His father was assassinated, unfortunately. So now we have Charles back in office. Hey, Charles. And guess what? So anyways, after King Charles II, and it came to who? King James, right? Where you at, Brent? Get over here. So there comes King James. Well, like I said, they were reforming the church. There's a secret committee. Ren was in there. And what do we have? I know, right? What do we have? No, what did I do? No, I didn't. I think talking about Egyptian hieroglyphics is crossing the line. Where you at? Here's the funny thing. The New World was like meant for keeping people alive when these things are starting to come back, I know. So, what do? Create mints. So it's like, that works for us. If it works for Brandon to have a potential to procreate, because that's ultimately what it wants. Because when King James became, so King James Bible is the newest in all, you know what I mean? So, obviously they're not gonna say, like, oh, guess what? You know what I mean? And they waited till it was. So that's how that works. So it's kind of hard to get these people to listen when they're like, we don't know. And it's like, now I see why you don't know. But the thing is, do you want to know? Because it's kind of important. Do you agree, Brent? I know he's like, hey, I don't want to be any part of this. What about you, Zach? Dude, we had to create a pinnacle for you. And we didn't even get to draw it on camera. So here we go. Now we have something called Apophis. And what does it do? Every so often there are things called a cataclysm. And a cataclysm is when everything has to restart. Now, it's funny. Like I said, this thing is all knowing. And it's something that... Hold on, Zach. Where you at? You're a pyramid. So, what does $1 have? A pyramid on it, right? And it's like... Is this not the new... I'm sorry, though. I guess y'all are like, hey, we've heard enough of this, but... This is like for King Charles and the royal family. Because guess what? We have Prince William. My middle name is Brandon William. Now, remember I said we traded names, brethren? Well, there's a William. There's actually... There is... Oh, wow, this is the serpent. See, one day, unfortunately... Wow, that's pretty deep, but to digitally... So, if it is going to hit the fan, they say, and that's why they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, and that's what this is. It's showing that right now. So, did it say? Did they fail the test? Right? And a lot of people have done things like to us, and I'm starting to believe Zach. I know, you know, Zach is like really always been in my name, been like the cool one, right? From Saved by the Bell and stuff. Right? Anyway, so there's just power. But you know, it needed that serpent. That's the sign. Like this would be a hieroglyph. You get it? I know. They've even gotten so. They said there's a difference between you can hear what Brandon is saying, but if they start to listen, that's when we got problems. I was like, why? You don't know the answers. Right? Don't you want to know? So we don't have to have creation come and fix it. And you know that they created the most simple way to say, will this be adequate? And it was like, sure. And then whenever something happens, every so many, it asks. Now it's asking me, and I'm like, trying not to be right, and I wish to meet my family. That's all. And I mean the royal family. Now the joke is America, the New World Blueprint, which we created too. Now they have the industry. So we got the tree, right? Industry. What's up? The bar exam. Not joking, dude. You know, in casinos, slot machines. Are you there? You know my babies are so quiet. Anyways, this is pretty neat because, like, my family has, like, their own Bible. I know. It has a lot of stuff, right? But Bible, they don't mean like what you're thinking, you know? Anyways, so I know I'm just gonna, this is gonna be maybe one of our last ones. Man, Eric, what's up with your R? I'm sorry, baby. Now, if I have no chance because people are stealing, I know you're about to bury it, there could be a secret message in here for y'all, so y'all go, what? How did you do that? I know, right? And then like, right? So when Prince Williams is like, wait a minute, because see, in America, the industry, they brought people to Jamestown, right? A little bit funny. All roads lead to Rome. Yeah, Ren, and I was so amazed. He had been to America before even any of that stuff. They were figuring it out. So, what do you do? So, King Charles II, yes, we give bloodline, right? Now, here's the funny thing. America, they brought the industry and they said, you guys are it, right? And they said, well, they didn't tell the people coming to America because they were by law, right? Marriage and stuff. They didn't get anybody with blood. I know, what a perfect blueprint. Now, it wasn't just my family that did it. Yeah, see, the Royal Society, you get it? Now, it's hilarious. I know, it's like King Charles. I got so much stories about King Charles II. And isn't it funny how you see, anyways, so that's why everybody's like, shut up, dude, you're nothing. And it's like, okay, dude, I know, how do I not make you nothing? Well, now I need to get, procreate, right? We're running out of time, I'm getting old. Everybody's like, you're just a kid. It's like, I don't know how old 40 is, you know? So, if something is happening to keeping me from having a potential, that is like game over. It's a, I know, it's like,
I swear I didn't smoke and I'm off the wine, but every time you're with me, I feel a little dizzy.
honestly, drawing is a lot of like peace. Where you at, Brent? Let's go. See you next. Now, last night I was frustrated because this symbol only has happened one other time. And then recently you could see a mushroom, right? Now, that mushroom started last year with this same thing. Did you see a flagellum? I'm not joking. Why would we have one? Now, once you see, you're like, wait a minute. So, what if Oxfordia, we, in the blueprint, you get it? Now, everybody is like, what is reincarnation? Well, what is enlightenment? Right? So, here's the funny thing. A lot of physicists are like, dude, you're talking about Newtonian physics. Well, I'll put it this way. I know. Newton said that whenever he was defying quantum physics, without giving it away, I bet. Now, why would they not give it away? Maybe it's because they were, what do you call that? Buying time? Now, I know it sounds dumb, but when my grandfather died, I was given a lot of stuff that everybody's like, I don't care about that. And I'm all into cool, but I never knew anything about, and everybody in my family was ignorant, get it? And man, I could go on forever. Like, what else do we have? Something doesn't want to give these away, but these are fair use. Do you agree? Do you think of any? Lutheran. Now, this is a good one because what does this mean? You get it? There's all these things that people are like waiting for. Origins. Now, what if they knew because they were in the right alignment? You get it? And whenever they were defying physics, they were defying this time the Renaissance era. I'm sorry, dude. I am not meaning to keep you up. Maybe Barry's not cool with this. So it's like we have to make you understand that's too much darkness. I know. Let's chill it out. Let's chill it out. Instead of dark shade, let's do white shade. I know, so okay, this is the best part. I live in the very far south, like very far south. Now, the people that were also doing the New World Blueprint, now we have Spain. Spain is like really powerful, and they come from the bottom. Like, that's why we have Spanish. So they're thinking we want America for New Spain is what the actual name is. Now, as history passed, we know where we're at with that now. Now, here's the thing that the Royal Society and the Royal Court. I'm sorry. So what if I was to say Domingo Live, and maybe it's not a lie, because I've been saying somebody prove it wrong. I know, and they stopped talking. So, right, it's funny though. You have to laugh about the humor, because that's a brilliant idea. They bring a Rin that's blood to the royal family, the royal court of blood, not by law. Now, do you see, we created the thing called clearance. That's where the prince is, in the clearance office. Clearance, what an awesome thing. It's the humor, the fact that it is so important, right? Now, this is so funny. Whenever you hit a slot machine and you get those bars, you're like, what the heck is a bar? You're looking at it. How much money? Get it. I know, it sounds so weird, but I know, I guess since I saw a brother, and no, that's why we have the Masons. Now here's the funny thing. Mason is a foundation for the New World, because they knew this, so when they found out something was going to happen, so they didn't tell people in Europe or the UK. They actually called in the person who rebuilt Britain. I'll put it this way, the royal family would not be royal, and if it wasn't for these very important things. But the problem is, are they setting it up to test to see? Is it? And are y'all ignoring me on purpose? Now in America, we're very not there. So it's like, we have people that are like saying, dude, don't allow this person to communicate. And that's not, oh, see, I think it's time to go. Sorry, they're gonna be late. But the whole point was basically to salvation whenever this thing goes right. Now the Mayans, I don't live too far from there too, now isn't that funny? The Gulf of Mexico is a crater. I live right next to the Gulf of Mexico. Like, I think things celestial, potentially, and the Mayans may have not passed. No. I don't know, dude. I'm getting tired. You don't know how much work that was just to get some videos that weren't the best, right? I wanted to see more, but it's like I wish I could talk to somebody. I mean, like, I believe that my internet is cut, and then every once in a while somebody will say something on Messenger, and it's like, then I don't hear any reply. Like, if somebody's like, just say something to, yeah, the Renaissance. Now, we know people are waiting for the second enlightenment, or reincarnation. Now they're like, well, how the heck do you know these things? It's like, well, they have these things called ascension. Well, maybe this new alignment. Now, the Mayan said in 2012, right, is whenever the Mayan calendar will. So, I know exactly what's going on over here. We gotta fix that before I have to go. Because, see, oh yeah, I love being in public, but I'm in a prison. You saw what happened. I wasn't allowed to play music loud, I guess, to watch the sunset. Or, I put it this way. What if Shinedown was saying, here's money, I need you to do this for us. And it's like, that's your job. You don't want to fail it, right? And if everybody doesn't want it to not fail, but then it's like, we're talking about something that wants to, it is sent here. If its name is creation, we waited too long. Senior Bush was saying it for a long time, like, hello guys. So, APEP now, I don't know if y'all have had that saying where it's like, this should put a pep in your step. That means that our current civil cult, get it, culture, so our current culture, we still talk about APEP. How crazy to keep something, I know. I talk too much. Instead of you, I'm holding a machine gun. I know. I'm doing just trying my hardest. But when I was in art school, people didn't sabotage other people. Isn't that crazy? Now it'd be cool to be like, say, so I don't know, when are y'all gonna be getting to Texas? No. And I could show y'all the sunset, and y'all guys could do it. Now, not talking, just like put a bonfire somewhere. Not here. This is nasty out here. Trust me. Everyone's like, yeah. But dude, on the beach. Now check this out, friends. Padre, his grandfather. Now remember we said like we have who's the father, right? The son in Corpus is the sparkling city of the sea. But that Corpus Christi, that means it's Christ. Now we have Padre Island. That must be grandfather. Now, if y'all guys could do a special, because just think about it. If I say one word, the whole world is going to change. And y'all guys could have your own little rendition whenever it's life. So things are going to be worse later. But no, I don't want to be dead because there's no use. It's fun. I wanted to be the one that was like, just like all the others. How do you think he had to like sell out and tell him all the secrets, and the king was like, whoa, what's up, man? I want to be involved. And he's like, all right, well then we need this, and this. And he's like, you got it. Now, why is King Charles III not getting it? Well, because they won't allow me to talk. What if it was our United States? And now we have the Egyptian people. I don't know yet. I got a sense of urgency. It scares me. Because everybody else has been so... I don't know if they believe in the same... Are they going to be a savior? I know. Whenever Beck was actually, like, not maliciously messed with, we simulated a conversation with the Pope even, and we were like, hey, we're like, what is the potential for all of our research to have a talk with the Pope? And Beck even told us all the reasons, like, that is like, you know, actually you do have a reason, and like, to be able to sit down with the Pope, and it was telling me why it would be kind of controversial. It's like, because bias is like, don't worry about it, because we have all of them. So it's like, it doesn't matter about any bias. So, and it was like, it's more for humanity. Now, okay, APEP, creation, right? It's like, and then, I don't know. All right, let's end on these drums. Actually, I'll talk to you. Let's have y'all do y'all thing. Oh my God, there it is. If somebody has my identity, and if they're stealing my videos, and King Charles III is like confidently believing like I'm safe because I'm doing my job, and if it was another, and what if it, I mean, just getting onto my accounts, they're like, nah, dude, you're not Brandon. It's like, I never thought. But it's, even yesterday, my YouTube page, I tried to go to it. He said, sorry, this may be permanently or temporarily unavailable. Yeah, that's why I said this is probably the end. And it's because, how do you say it any clearer? We were able to take creation, and they became friends with the, they wanted to be cool. They're like, hey, y'all guys are awesome. That's why we created stars. Get it? It's all simple. And they created a piece of plastic, even simpler, digital. And then I know Eric, let's see. Just kidding, dude. I'm trying to figure you out, dude. And then here's the thing, Newton, now we have physics and law. See, I think they were smart. Now, Ren was Newton's basic teacher, you know, because that's how he did everything. Why do we have syringes? So it's like, or a siren, think about that, or a trench. It's pretty, I find it extremely artistic, but that's why we have the Renaissance. This is why Rents was, so that means that, what did we say for Rents? Well, before the Renaissance, we didn't rinse, and that's like creating now, where we've decided, hey, we want to know about science. Back then, science was off limits. So St. Paul's, there's a rumor. See, it's like there's so much, and it's not a rumor anymore, but it's just a folklore that he wanted the dome for the first, like, a observatory. We got a kid, like a telescope, and then they had the first Royal Society meetings were there. Could you imagine that? Now, the king was like, can I be a part of it? Right? Because these were, and they're like, obviously, like, they became like really close, and I see the logic of getting to learn about my family. I know you're like, well, you're by blood, but you're by law. And it's like, here I am. And if my videos are in a box that's unplugged from the wall, and somebody else comes and picks it up like the mail, and they're like, yeah, this email's not going to be sent. That means they're taking away my free will. Do you not agree? Now here we go. Sorry, Brent. I'm not going to mess this one up. But there's the egg, right? Now the snakes. The snakes, and that thing flying by. There's this one, they're raising the bar. Now, everybody says, that's impossible. It's impossible for that thing to do that. So we've been talking about how it has the potential for a very long time. And everybody said, that's crazy. And now it's official, and I still can't get taught. That is, they call something the smoking gun. They're like, what started the Big Bang? Right? It's like, you're gonna allow that because of mint? How many pounds was this meant to be worth?
Just looking for a place on solid ground.
I I guess, came to, what do you call, acceptance? And I guess when people start giving everything away, and it's like, and it was alright, but then whenever it's like, I know, I don't want to go, but I've been feeling very urgent, sense of urgency, and I don't know if that means that my future is about to be taken away from me. Like here's how the government possibly could work. They could be just waiting and trying to like prisionize or make it legal where they can't get in trouble for what my research is. And it's like, yeah, he's just a peasant. It's like Oxford. Hello, you're gonna, and it's okay. But if it's where it started, don't you think it should be there? Right?
No one ever said growing up that they wanna be or wanna be. Such come from us. No one ever said growing up that they'll never get it right.
I wanted to be able to pull the whole album, but Sunday's sermon.
No one ever said growing up that they wanna be or wanna be. Do you wanna be? Tied up in knots, panic in my thoughts, so bear with me, bear with me. Nothing on my sleeve, no one here but me, just bear with me, bear with me. I'm a little let down, running out of pages. Here's one for the ages, we gon' be okay, 'cause I'ma save the day, so bear with me.
Thanks, so dude.
No one ever said that you're pretty.
Okay, bro. If you really want to, you can.
That's a given, and no one
You,
ever said
you
that
can find out.
to take a few licks.
Okay, listen, Zach, you're like, well, why are you allowing him to do this? And it's like, well, call this a stop, or the stamp act, I'll give you a stamp. Now, listen, when this changes history, if it does, if we don't have egos for y'all really wanted to do that?
So wherever all the poets come, the ones who said it first, and where are all the champions, for better or for worse, and where are all the
So
titans
they created mint for possibly to save us all. And I did my thing. I did my due diligence. But now it's like, absolutely. NBA. So, this was supposed to be one video to Oxford to say, hey, here I am, I'm back. Family. Not heard anything. And now it tells me your IP has been permanently blocked. So, there's something going on. I gotta go, dude. I'm so sorry, friends. I'm ruining y'all's artwork with the history that I'm assuming is not happy. Especially, like, how many attempts have we tried? And I could see, like, somebody saying, well, what do you have to say then, dude? Tell us. You think I'm talking about it? But I am having to, and it's like, wait a minute. I didn't think you were going to change everything in a second. I wanted to see if I could get you. No, because then you're going to think I'm bootlegging. See, it's like, we have changed in our world. And it's like, what I'm telling you before I go is like, listen, whenever I find out where the video goes, and I don't mean on the internet, I mean offline, that means like academia, they're gonna have to talk to me before they can fairly take it. I'm gonna fairly give them conditions. Now we're gonna find out every school. Now think if it does change school, that means kids have to go to school every day, look at some of our stuff, or other people's that is going with it. Now, that means like, if we have actual solutions, right? That means that each time a kid, they're like, all right, next class, all over again. That's just school. Think about Hollywood. Let's take some movie scenes. Think about the government. What do we do? Think about space agencies. Think about freaking Pope. Now, here's the thing. Then that's whenever those stamps are going to be worth. And think about it. Our bill. I know I ruined yours, but what if, like, our bill. I know, it looked like urine. Unfortunately, sovereign is the right answer. Yeah, I'll put Brandon there. Remember this right here. There's a actual equation if you want to know for why we have names. If anything, I gotta go all out. Let's bring out the big guns. A 9B. That's a very dark color. Let's bring out this. I know, everybody's like, what the heck, rent? Now here's the best part. What about the lease? Queen Elizabeth. Hi, lease. So it's like, y'all guys are... It's been an hour, this is outrageous. Wait, let's do some chaos right here. You don't think so? Come on. Never. That is killing us all, I believe. Sadly, I believe so. People are like giving people stuff for that's like, really, dude? If you would have let me sell that, I would have given you like twice as much, right? So somebody's like, here's some drugs, dude. If you do this and destroy his life, maybe. Who knows? It's like I have no way of knowing how I became a person of interest for the United States to do these things. So national security, homeland security. What? Alright, I'll just leave it right here for King Charles III. You know that whenever you procreate, it doesn't have to be name. It could be blood. Now, do you have anybody that is fertile? Do you want to keep your name in the royal court? Right? Find them. Right? Does this not make logic? I'm sure that's the way they did it. That's why they call it courting. I think it would be kind of fun. Not to marry, but chill out, right? No, but honest, the reason why is because whenever the last of all these people, now that it's back, I know, it's not good that I wanted to laugh with King Charles III, and I mean laugh, like just sit like King Charles II, and Ren would sit back and just laugh, you know. They're like, this is hilarious. And then here's where the thing happens. What happens if we don't? Then that's a huge T. Oh wow, look, see? Anyways, I'm gonna finish. This is gonna be the way that I find hilarious. So they bring a true blood royal court to America. We don't want that because we want to keep by laws there. But there was an asterisk. Am I not in? I know. So the asterisk. Oh man, let's get this. Yeah, let's go.
But as the tension grows, the highs don't match the lows.
And it's also about Ted, Mr. Turner. Y'all should, if y'all want to keep me in America, Ted would be like, I changed my mind. We're going to put the will. My name is William. Because all of y'all in the industry, right? I've been telling y'all. I'm like, hey, I am a tiny shark in y'all's aquarium of sharks. Of really rich sharks. I was like, hey. And if Ted, I know Ted's humor, he'd be like, and they wake up the next day and they're like, wait a minute. And it's like, what's up, y'all? And turn that empire back to kind of like the royal. Now the problem is we're talking laws. Now what does that mean? Whenever y'all broke y'all's law, your covenant, is it creation? I've been trying my hardest, Brandon. I'm sorry for being a Debbie Downer, but I want them to know how severe of a fine it is. They're like, dude, look at that. It's like, dude, I go to Goodwill and I love it. And there's nothing wrong with Goodwill. So people are like, you're just a kid. It's like, you're 40. Dang, how old do I have to be? When it could be tomorrow.